Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. I'm super excited to finally be doing this. I have been thinking about starting a YouTube channel for a really long time, really, just to kind of have some kind of creative outlet to express myself, to share ideas, to, more just something else to do, to have fun. And I just kind of want to give you guys an introduction to who I am and kind of why I'm doing this. So I've already alluded a little bit to the why I'm doing this, and mainly it's to have an outlet, right? To have an outlet for creativity, have an outlet for inspiration, to share thoughts, to share ideas. I think as a good functioning society, the foundation is having differing ideas, because when you pull them all together, and if you have pretty good people in charge, sound-minded guys and girls, you can make really good decisions to better help everybody, right? So it's kind of how I see this going. Just a place to share, projects, to share ideas, to share philosophies, to share whatever it might be, just to kind of have fun, just to post YouTube videos. I spend a lot of time on YouTube already, so I was like, at some point I'm gonna have to start making my own, I guess. I guess that's kind of how everybody thinks about it, right? I wouldn't know. All right, so a little bit about myself. And I live in the great state of Alabama. It's kind of a rural, tree-covered, hilly mess of a state, but we love it. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I have a mechanical engineering degree I got from the University of Alabama at Birmingham. Played a little bit of college football. Of course, I played football throughout high school, but played a little bit of college football at a place called Center College, a little D3 school in Kentucky. It was fun. Never really got the chance to play a whole lot, but I don't regret my time up there. It taught me a lot of things. I am currently a part of the Marine Corps, the reserves, which is, for you guys who don't know, it's kind of like the National Guard, just for the Marine Corps, instead of, the National Guard being the Army or the Air Force or something like that. Which I really enjoy doing that. It's a really good time. Yeah, it's a really good time. So let's see. That's kind of who I am. And mainly I want this channel to be somewhere where people can go to just talk, right? Like, and I'll obviously share plenty more about who I am, about what I do. I'll video myself doing lots of different stuff, right? I probably, at some point, I'll kind of hone in on one specific thing, but for now, I think it'll be more just conversation until such a time when I have more time to film different types of videos. Anyways, so some of my hobbies. I'm super into the gym. I really, really love physical fitness. It's kind of been part of my life my whole life. Playing sports since I was a real little kid. You learn very quickly that, the people who are really good are typically the guys who are the strongest and the fastest and the most in shape, right? Like, it's just, duh, right? The guys who are better at throwing a baseball harder, or hitting the ball further, or running faster to tackle somebody, or, offensive linemen being able to shove people out of the way, and, all those guys were bigger and stronger and faster. So physical fitness obviously playing a pivotal role in that process, right? So that's probably my number one focus. Yeah, that's probably my number one focus as far as hobbies go and habits go. I like to watch a lot of fitness YouTube, specifically Greg Doucette. I love Coach Greg. I think he's hilarious. He's got pretty solid advice if you kind of sift through all the, I'll call it the fun BS. Because he likes to create these videos. They're goofy. You guys have to go check him out. I used to take a lot of advice from some of these other guys in the space, but the more that I applied some of their advice, the more I realized that, I started getting way too worried about, what's the perfect, like, rep range and set range, and what are the optimal exercises, and, should I do this or should I do that, or, is this going to be as beneficial as possible, or will this be different? Well, if I do this exercise, if I do this long range partial, or this, shortened half rep, if I'm doing sets to failure, if I'm leaving 1 or 2 reps in reserve, that kind of thing. It just seemed really silly to me, because I'm like, I'm going to spend too much time thinking about working out, and I'm like, sometimes you just need to go in there and just lift. Getting in there and actually working out, I think, is more important than optimizing your training in the first place. Unless you're super experienced, you've been in the gym for 10, 15 years, and then, you can't just go in there and lift anymore. There's no like beginner stuff left for you. No newbie gains, I think, is the coin term. That's enough about the gym, and we'll obviously do probably more videos about the gym and stuff like that. I would say secondarily, music. Music's a huge hobby of mine. I play guitar currently. I've been playing guitar for about 8 years, like since I was 18 or so. It's a super fun time. Kind of range all over the place with it, right? I like play a little bit of classic rock. I've got an electric guitar and a very nice amp. I like to do a lot of metal music sometimes. I play worship music. I play country music, like literally everything you can possibly think of. Just because, why not, right? Like I said, the whole point of this channel, share ideas, experience, different points of views, and all that good stuff. Like, why would I limit myself to one style or one genre of music, or even just one instrument, right? Like, if all you ever learned was how to play guitar, you would never understand how a band functions as a whole without understanding the parts, right? So I've also picked up piano. Piano has been a lot of fun. Not as much in terms of, you pick up a guitar and you can kind of just play music and be alone, right? You can stand alone. You see plenty of guys who play guitar and sing at bars, or even a lot of artists, they do that kind of thing too, which it's totally fun, and personally I really like that kind of more unfiltered, more authentic style of music. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's really cool. Anyway, so I kind of took up piano to better understand music theory, which, if you're big into music, or you're a musician, professional or amateur or whatever, you'll learn that basically music theory is most easily taught and understood on the piano. I mean, it's pretty much laid out as simple as you can make it. Whereas like a guitar, you can basically think of it like this. You have a piano, right? And it's just a set number of keys and different octaves. So once you get up to a certain number of keys, it changes. A guitar is like pianos overlaid on each other in sections that don't exactly match up to how a piano is in the first place. So it gets more complicated to like try to learn it on that, as opposed to learning how to do it on a piano. Much easier. It's way easier. I play a little bit of bass, although playing bass and playing guitar are drastically different. The basic setup, the basic style, I guess all the scales and the notes are the same for the first four strings on a bass as they are on the first four strings on a guitar. It's the exact same. So as long as you know how to play scales and like specific notes, then you can pretty much play bass. I mean, there's a lot more of an art form to it, and I'm obviously simplifying it a lot. So don't get mad at me, bass players, but you know, you can understand the basic bare minimums and at least scrape by. If all you know how to play guitar and you're trying to learn bass pretty quick, you can mostly do it. I have a mandolin. It's kind of a country folk music piece. It's really fun. I don't know a lot on it. I'd like to play it more, but unfortunately there's not. I mean, there's a couple of pretty good channels out there for learning, but you know, one of the best things, and something I will continue to harp on as I post more and more videos, is, you know, practice makes perfect. And there is not enough of a folk and country music community around where I am. I'm sure I could go out and find some. It'd just be pretty far away and kind of inconvenient for me to get to, which, not a big deal. If I really decided that's something I wanted to do, I would just, you know, I would just go do it. Why not, right? You only get to live one time, so you might as well attempt to experience as much as you possibly can. Let's see what else. I have a ukulele that was given to me by my mom. It's fun, you know. It's not. I wouldn't really break it out if I'm trying to impress anybody, but at the same time, like, I'm always going to mention it just because, you know, it's fun, it's easy, it has a really happy sounding tune to it. I really like it, actually. Even as simple as it actually is, it's pretty great. Man, yeah, pretty funny. That kind of concludes, I guess, my musical habits. Other than that, man, I mean, I like doing at-home projects. I'm a little bit of a amateur carpenter. I guess you could call it that, DIY kind of deal. I've done lots of projects, built tree houses, built tool sheds, built workbenches, built, you know, cabinets, all kinds of stuff. Just random things. You can look up a YouTube video and how do you do this, you know? I like to do that kind of stuff. I think that's really fun. Constructing, building, creating with your own hands, I think it's a very rewarding experience. Especially if you do it halfway decently and it lasts for a long time, then you're like, man, it was worth it to spend a little bit of extra time doing this thing. Let's see what else. I love sports. I've obviously, you know, like I said, I played, or I guess I didn't say that yet. I can't remember if that was in one of the other takes or not, just to be totally honest. I've played all three sports throughout my whole life. The main big three for, like, the U.S., I guess, which would be baseball, basketball, and football. Basically, since I can remember being in elementary school and middle school, whenever that stuff really started picking up, I was playing all three throughout my whole life. Baseball probably took up the most in the beginning, and then as I got older and older, I realized that despite me being pretty decent at baseball, football was my best chance for, you know, post high school, like, play. You know, if I ever wanted to do anything in college or not, which I had the opportunity to at a place called Center College, a little D3 school in Kentucky. I was on the football team there. I didn't get to play very much, but by the time I left, I was only a sophomore. So, you know, I wasn't that great. I won't sit here and, you know, try to prop up my own ego. I wasn't that great of a football player. I was just pretty good, you know. I wasn't the most gifted intellectually. I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the strongest. You know, I threw a pretty good ball, and I understood the offense, 70-80% of the offense, you know, stuff like that. And I think that I'll kind of end that here with the whole point of the channel title being Average Bro. I like to think of myself as that, because, you know, if people say, like, oh, I'm just an average guy, right? Like, I'm just I'm not anything special. It's like, well, that's not necessarily true, man. Like, everybody has a very unique personality, a unique set of skills and experiences that make you well above and beyond average. The reason I call myself average is because I'm trying to be the average guy in literally every single possible thing that I can. I don't know if you guys know the coined term a Renaissance man, but that's essentially kind of my life goal, is to be decent, to have a more complex understanding of basically everything I ever choose to get involved in. So, sports, fitness, music, since I'm in the military as well, understanding tactics and firearms, and, it can even go as far as like, drawing movies, like critiquing and understanding that kind of thing. I love comic books too. I'm a huge Batman fan. I have like collectibles and action figures and old comics and all kinds of stuff, man. Like just trying to be as involved as possible. Which, a lot of people will pick up a hobby and they'll do it for a couple months and then they'll, set it down and never touch it again, right? Like guitar is a great example. I know tons of people who have a guitar sitting in their closet from back when their mom or their grandma bought them a guitar and was like, I think this would be great. You've expressed interest. I'd love if you learn. And it's like some people do, and some people pick it up and then they put it down and they never touch it again. And I really don't want that to be, the story of me, And obviously, if I find a hobby that I do for a little while and it's just not worth it to continue to do it, or I don't like it as much, or, anything like that, then, I'll obviously decide not to do it anymore. But I want to be a jack of all trades, but a master at none, right? Like, I want to be sufficiently good at a lot of stuff. I want to be involved in a lot of things. Like I said earlier, you only get to have one life, right? So why limit yourself to only a handful of experiences when you can go out and experience as much as you want? We live in this wonderful world that, it's full of unique perspectives. It's full of unique people. It's full of unique ideas. And, why would you limit yourself to only experiencing a small amount, right? Like we have such a plethora and such a banquet of knowledge, of experiences, ideas, and it would be so disingenuous, I guess, is probably the only way to say it. Like, why would you want to limit yourself? You never, like the old saying goes, you never know until you try, right? You never know if you're good at something until you try it. You'll never know if you like something until you try it. You never know, man. Like, you could be great at guitar. You could be great at, piano. You could be the world's best disc golf player. And you just have no idea because you've never gone and tried it and experienced it. So, I hope with this channel, I can inspire some people to share in, my view of experiencing life. I will try to share as much as I possibly can about what it is that I'm interested in hopes that it will inspire a few more people to do a little bit more, right? Like, we can always go out, learn more, do more, experience more to make us better and more well-rounded people. Back in ancient Rome and Greece, they used to talk, you have philosophers who would talk about, having a complete understanding of mathematics, of psychology, of physiology, of, exercise, fitness, cultural norms, and, they were savants in music and in art and all kinds of things. And, I want that to be my experience. I'm going to try my absolute best to make it to that point. Like, I want to be like a modern philosopher, right? Like somebody who has experience and knowledge, at least a little bit, in just about everything that I do. All right. Well, I've made it all the way to work. I hope you guys stick around. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please like it. Leave a comment below on anything that you guys might want me to talk about. I've got a bunch of ideas planned as of now, but I'm always open to suggestion for sharing more about a topic, or, you know, maybe filming myself doing some of these things that I'm talking about. I think for now, I'll probably just do these car ride talks just to kind of speak and just to actually start creating content, because, man, I've just struggled with it for a long time of whether or not I actually wanted to do anything or not. So anyways, that'll wrap it up for now. And please like the video, comment, consider subscribing. I don't have a lot right now, but, you know, hey, maybe one day we'll look back on this video and I'll be like, I can't believe I used to say that, because, you know, now hopefully I've got a big following, or at least some people who consistently watch me. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.